Rogue Radio. Now available on Mixcloud at mixcloud.com/Rogue Country. Keep it rogue.
What's going on, guys? Welcome to Into the Van. I am Mike West, and I'm super happy to be here. Thank you so much for listening. This week's been really interesting, man. The support for Mothman and The Next Life is still blowing me away. It's fucking nuts. Thank you so much to everyone who joined us for the Mothman live stream, everyone who's like pre-ordered the digital, because digital isn't a real thing. It's why piracy was so prevalent like so long ago, or not that long ago to be honest, because it's easy to download a digital file and you don't really think much of it. It's just there, it's just some megabytes on your computer. It's not a real thing you can touch, which is why for Mothman I made stickers and handwritten lyric sheets and t-shirts, and people have actually supported and bought them, and that's a huge fucking thing, and I really appreciate it. If you haven't bought them, you can head over to my Bandcamp and get them. I woke up to a record store collecting Survive in Liverpool, a local shop to me. I played a great set there last year. They're a really great pop-up record store. He messaged me yesterday and was saying how someone came into his shop and was looking for some Americana alt country stuff. He played my record and he went away with it and bought it, and he PayPal'd me the money, the next day, which is absolutely phenomenal. And it's those type of things that are just like keeping that motivation tank going, and you listening to this is keeping me going. So thank you so much. It's been a humbling and really great time at the moment. Just to release something new and have a response from it is an amazing thing, so thank you. I'm going to drop a teaser of Mothman in here now if you haven't listened to it. I saw Mothman. There's always something chasing me. Don't know if it's real or my anxiety. I can't control beyond my grasp. Like the saying goes, man, plans God laughs. 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 And that's available over on my Bandcamp. You can find it by going to mike333west.com and clicking store. It'll take you straight to it. And yeah, apart from that, there's been some personal and career highlights that I'm going to be going into shortly, that I'm going to be dropping in the next episode of the podcast, because I got to talk to someone who I'm a huge fucking fan of and idolize and have been a fan of for many, many years. But that's for another time, guys. Let's talk about today's guest. This is episode 45 of Into the Van, and it's with Tom from Picking Bones Festival. And Tom is a great fucking champion of roots and like the alt country, dirty roots, dirty blues, just all that type of music that I love and I think you might love in Belgium. And I first met him when he was doing his old style music nights reviews, because he was friends and a fan of Sean James, and he'd done a review for him. So when I first started out in this little career of mine, I looked for people who had reviewed the people I was looking up to, and I just messaged them and was like, if you like this person, you might like me. And it's just kind of snowballed like that. I got to play the first Picking Bones in 2019. Unfortunately, due to COVID, there hasn't been one since, but it's back this year. It's going to be fucking phenomenal. And Tom is one of those figures that I really pay attention to. He recommends so many great bands. He's got his finger on the pulse on a lot of different genres and a lot of different scenes. He's a great guy to talk to, and I think it really shines through in this episode, man, because he is just a passionate guy. And what's interesting about Tom is he's not a musician himself, so he's in it purely for the love of it. I'm not saying, like, obviously I'm a musician and I put shows on, but that is still, there's some element of me trying to put my name out there and trying to get some traction in some way. Tom is doing it literally for the love of it, and that's a very pure and innocent and amazing thing that I really, really respect him for. So let's get down to it, man. Without further ado, this is episode 45 of Into the Van with Mike West and Tom from Picking Bones. So you've had like family events today and stuff. Are you doing anything for Valentine's Day tomorrow?
Never.
No.
My wife and I, we are together for, let me see, I think 21 years or something. And we're going to be married for 15, but Valentine's Day, nah, we never,
Yeah. No,
never
me
ever
and
did.
yeah,
Nope.
me and my missus aren't doing anything for it. I think it is one of those things that you just kind of bypass at a certain
Yeah.
point, or if you ever really do it. Even my cousin, she's 18 and got her first boyfriend, and even they're like not doing anything for Valentine's Day. I think the tradition might be at its end.
Let's hope so.
Yeah, man.
You
But
just,
no,
no, go ahead, go ahead.
no. What were we gonna say?
You have to bring a present every now and then, just out of the blue.
Yeah,
And then that works perfect.
yeah, it does. Man, I prefer that. Like, I think I'd rather spread out Christmas or birthdays over the course of a year to just be like surprise Christmas and
Yeah.
just keep it a bit more interesting than that. But
True.
yeah, I prefer that to just like on the 14th of February you have to be romantic, and
Yeah.
the 364 days after that you don't really
You can
need to
be
give
you
a
can be
shit.
an ass.
Yeah, you just phone it in.
All right.
Yeah, but thank you for making the time to come onto this, man. Like, obviously, we want to
Thank you
talk
for
about
having
pick
me.
and bones and stuff, but
Yep.
let's, take it all the way back to your origin story. What is the first music that you really like fell in love with? Because I know you're into your black metal and heavier stuff. What was the music that you first called your own?
I have to go way, 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 way back. My cousin, he was a DJ, and he had like every DJ back in the 80s, he had a 7-inch sling all over. And I would ask him to play some music for me. And one of the first things that I really loved was I have no idea what the band was called, but it was "Life Is Life." You remember that song? Na 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 na.
Oh, yeah.
I must have been, I think, around 6 or something. But then I discovered his heavier stuff. He also used to play AC/DC and stuff like that as well. And actually, that got the ball rolling into like, I'm a kid. I was born in 1980, but I had my teenage years in the 90s. So I grew up listening to guitar music all the time. Got into metal very early. Got into black metal around when I was 16, 17 maybe. And was like really, really into it.
What was it about like black metal that like lured you in? For me, it was, when you grow up on AC/DC and Kiss and that type of music, to find that stuff where it's like, electric guitars and distortion, but to the extreme. What was it about you that kind of drew you to it?
First thing was the artwork on the albums. We had a great record store in close to the town I lived in. We're actually in the town that I live now, in Diest. I lived in a town like 7 kilometers away. And the artwork, that drew me in. And bought my first CD, my first metal CD, or like really the heavy stuff. I can't remember what it was. And I put it on. I was like, whoa, what is this? And to be honest, the first time, do I even like this?
Yeah.
But yeah, I think after a couple of spins, I was hooked on it. And I dove in head first and went searching for everything. Like every kid back in those days, I started with Cradle of Filth and Dimmu Borgir and stuff like that, but got into the more serious stuff.
Yeah.
But I always I can't play an instrument. So I tried to play guitar once, but that didn't work out very well. So I just love music, and I kept delving, and I discovered so much more than just metal.
Yeah.
My record collection goes from, of course, metal to jazz, just a little bit because that's Ebo. He will be bothering us. Come on. Ebo. Get a
It's
beagle.
fine.
Get a beagle. Yeah, go ahead.
Like with like I remember when obviously listening to AC/DC and all, growing up on that, the first time I heard like black metal was the same experience I had when I listened to like Robert Johnson, where I was like, this sounds like shit. But there's something there.
Yeah,
and if you listen to those early Mayhem records and stuff, it's got that same just gritty DIY lo-fi thing to it. What was it that made you kind of persist with that type of stuff? Was it just you knew from the artwork and everything what was gonna be there if you just dug deeper?
I like I said, I was fascinated by the artwork, and the first time I heard it was like, okay, not sure that I liked it, but something was like, dude, this is not like what they're playing on the radio.
Yeah.
So that means, of course, I knew about bands like Metallica. I didn't go from AC/DC to listening to metal.
Yeah.
I went through the whole Iron Maiden, Metallica, Sepultura. But black metal did something for me that I couldn't find anywhere else. And I think, and the scene back in those days was like a mysterious thing.
Was there much of a metal scene in Belgium, like when you were growing up?
Not really where I was living, but there were a lot of cool concerts going on. And I remember taking the train to the other side of the country and a tent, and just put up the tent next to the venue. I was the only guy who did it because everyone was driving their cars, and I just came from the other side of the country with a tent. I had my girlfriend, my back then girlfriend, with me. We really didn't want to go, but she she did it anyway. And
what was the first like gigs you remember like going to and making those trips to?
I think one of the first real black metal gigs I went to was Emperor. That was quite legend. Well, one of the bigger things. I have seen smaller bands and stuff like that, but one of the bigger ones, that was definitely Emperor. And I used to roadie for a black metal band in the day, so I couldn't play a guitar. Actually, I was there for the free beer.
What was that like roadieing for them? Was it just like carrying everything in and out?
Yeah, carrying amps and doing the merch, and which I'm actually still doing now. When I'm doing a festival, I'm still carrying amps and sometimes selling merch for bands.
Yeah. And from obviously the metal and stuff, what was it that like exposed you or got you interested in the root scene that you're like actively involved with now?
My brother-in-law, he started playing stand-up bass, and he started playing with first he played with an Elvis cover band, but then he started his own band together with his friends, which was the Black Cat Bone Squad. And that got me, in the beginning, more like the traditional rockabilly, but I got really tired of that very, very fast. I guess it got really boring very fast.
Yeah, I feel like rockabilly is a great example of capturing a decade and like a vibe, but there's not really much progression you can do outside of that without it not becoming rockabilly.
Yeah, indeed. So, and I think one of the first encounters with what I'm involved now was a Hang 3 CD, which I think for many people in Europe was like a first taste of the underground root scene besides rockabilly or psychobilly. And that got me. Actually, it had the same effect on me as black metal had back in the 90s. Oh, this is weird. Do I like this? I had no idea I liked country music. Should I even tell someone that I like it? Isn't this the thing that we should be ashamed of? So no, and that got me, I think, after Hank, the Shack Shakers, of course, Bob Wayne, stuff like that. And it evolved a bit, thanks to the internet, of course. I think Soulseek was still on back in those days, and finding new music. And then Muddy Roots happened in Belgium. Or, no, actually, I heard about Muddy Roots first. Was it? Nah, I think that I have the timelines a bit confused, but it all blends together with Muddy Roots happening in Belgium for the first time, and that opened up a lot of new knowledge for us.
Yeah. What year was the first Muddy Roots? Do you remember?
Oh, I have no idea. 2012.
Oh, cool. So 10 years ago this year.
Yeah. Yeah, indeed.
Mm.
And I remember Slim Cessna was headlining there on, I think, Saturday maybe. Oh, I think Saturday or Sunday, doesn't matter. And that was like, wow. I had never experienced, I had seen so many live shows, but I had never experienced a live show that Slim Cessna put on. And yeah, that was almost like a religious experience to be. So I'm grateful for Jason putting up Muddy Roots back in the day. So
yeah, do you think like Muddy Roots Europe was instrumental in kind of what the European roots scene has become with it? Because I know obviously they've got Muddy Roots in Tennessee and Europe. This seems to be like the second biggest kind of gathering of that type of music and mixture of genres.
I think so. I absolutely think so. Like I said, for me personally, I didn't know much about the music until the Muddy Roots scene came around here. Of course, we knew about bands like the Shack Shakers because they used to tour Europe, and they used to play with psychobilly shows and stuff like that. So, but apart from that, there wasn't much like Jake Orvis or even the Goddamn Gallows. I had never heard of the Gallows before Muddy Roots started. So, absolutely.
With obviously like the Muddy Roots and like the root scene happening in Europe, there's such a crossover from people like you and me. And I think a lot of people have that kind of metal background and finding roots. What do you think it is about those two genres that kind of have, a Venn diagram with a lot of people meeting in the middle?
I think it's the purity of the music. I think metal is a very pure music genre. It's and it has this whole, let's say, an aura around it. Like or maybe a lifestyle, I don't know. And I think the root scene has a bit of this, or I don't like to name it a scene, because I think scenes get destroyed very easily, and but I think there's a similar vibe to the how concerts work. Metal acts seem to interact a lot with their fans, just like the punk scene. And I think the roots thing has that same vibe. It's just you're close to the artist, and I think as I said before, I don't play an instrument, but I think the roots music is very interesting to play as a metal musician. Because of it has this. It's not an easy thing. It's not an easy song that you play. Oh, some of course, but you know what I mean?
Yeah.
As a non-musician, I can be talking a lot of bullshit because I have no idea what I'm talking about. But as a listener, I think there's a lot of similarities in it. Maybe that's why people are.
Yeah, I think there's like an accessibility and like a no bullshit to each. And I think that's like a really interesting. I think like the fact that you're kind of on the same playing field as an audience member, as a fan, and as a musician, they never seem so unattainable or so unreachable that you don't make a connection with them. But it's just weird how like it just seems that everyone, I know a few people complain about everyone who seems to have like beards and tattoos and shit is suddenly a fucking, folk or root musician, and I'm guilty of the exact same fucking thing. So I can't throw any stones. I get those stones thrown at me. But it is weird how there does seem to have been a shift of metal musicians and metal fans embracing the country and blues and roots and making it into something else.
I think it's also because it has a history. They know where the music comes from, and let's be honest, blues, country music. Without those genres, there would never be heavy metal or punk or so. Maybe it's a sign of giving respect or and discovering from. Oh wait, I can write this awesome heavy song on an electric guitar, but I can also write a really heavy emotional song on an acoustic guitar or a mandolin. And I think that's where if people seeing this. If I'm completely wrong, let me know.
I think you are onto something because you look at like Hellhound on My Trail or Devil Got My Woman or any of those songs from like the blues, or you look at any of like the Knoxville Gaelic, Louvin Brothers in country, they all have those heavy, dark elements. Then metal just amplified it, put distortion behind it, and then it's just been stripped back down. So I think you are on the money for it's just kind of come full circle. And a lot of musicians like myself, it's just going back to the source and not, hiding behind a wall of distortion and a wall of Marshalls.
I like back, let's say a couple of years back, when people asked me, Tom, the music you're putting on, the bands that are going to be playing, what is it? And I always told them it's punks or metalheads playing their grandfather's music.
Yeah.
And in a way, it's correct.
Yeah.
So,
No, I think that's a great way to make, because I know it's hard, because when I've kind of tried to promote or push bands I like Amigo the Devil or Sean James or whoever, if a metal, if you have a metal fan, you'll go, you listen to this, you will like this music.
Absolutely.
And it's just, sometimes it's hard. People see a banjo or an acoustic guitar and they just think grandpa guitar and they don't want to touch it.
Yeah. Yeah, indeed.
With kind of the European scene, what are the big bands to you? Obviously, you talked about Slim Sest and Shack Shakers. Who are the big bands or artists you that kind of embody like the scene, and who have been your favorites throughout like the years?
From Europe or
just your top 5 like artists that you've discovered from like the root scene and who you've worked with?
So we covered Slim Sest, we covered the Shack Shakers. In recent years, of course, Amigo the Devil, he's becoming so big.
Yeah.
So I think that ship has sailed to ever have him play our festival. Let's see. Of course, the Goddamn Gallows are in that top 5 for me. You have The Devil Makes Three, of course, but I really used to like, and without sounding like a cliche, I really used to like their earlier albums. And I know it sounds like a cliche, but it's just the way it is. Maybe it got a bit too clean. I don't know. And I have to be honest, I haven't heard the last one. So, but the one before that I did hear, and it was a bit too clean for me. It's like what's the band called? Canadian band. The Hoot and Hollers are touring with them very shortly.
Oh, Dead South.
Yeah, I really cannot get into the Dead South.
No,
they're great musicians.
Yeah, for me, it was like I liked a couple of songs, but there's something where it's like, and this is they do it too well.
Yeah, maybe that's it.
Yeah, and it's too like, it's like, and I'm not saying they're like Nickelback, but Nickelback's biggest crime is being really good at being Nickelback.
Yeah. And
I think like the Dead South and that type of thing, they kind of nailed the formula, but then that doesn't give them much wiggle room or make anything really interesting. And that might be a really wanky, pretentious answer, but for me, that's for my ears. It's just like, yeah, they've nailed it. I don't need there's nothing grabbing me anymore.
That's what would let's say Scott H. Byron. He can't do anything wrong for me.
Yeah,
because that's the honesty that I feel when I see him play or when I hear a record of him. It's like, wow, that's Byron. Yeah. And it's him, it's his guitar and his foot stomping on stuff, and you have this raw energy, and that's what I miss, I think, with a band like the Dead South, or maybe the latest album by the Devil Makes Three. And that's probably my metal background speaking. Like, I need this raw emotion, and so
you need that connection. Like, I was talking to one of my friends before about like artists, and it's like, I don't like that album because I like, for me, I consider like they phoned it in, and it's just like they knew what they were doing and they did it, and there wasn't really any energy or attitude behind it. And I think it'll depend on each person listening to it, but I think certain people can tell for certain records when someone not necessarily gave up, but was just like, yeah, I know what I'm doing and this is what I'm going to do, without any real challenge or attitude to it.
Yeah, could be. Yeah.
But one of the things I really find interesting about you, you're such a music fan, but you don't play instrument. Obviously, you talked about you dabbled in guitar and stuff. Is there a reason you didn't kind of stick out with a music, like an instrument, or like get into a band like that?
Like I said, I tried the guitar
Yeah.
and I was really bad at it, but it was probably because I like focus. Like I bought an acoustic guitar and I did and after like 3 weeks, like, well, this is not going the way I want it to go. And don't forget, I bought an acoustic guitar when I was already very much into metal music. Because I couldn't get an electric guitar from my dad told me no electric guitar, and I just couldn't get the thing to do what I like to do, and also I didn't practice it. I thought it was way cooler running around the town with a guitar strapped to my back. I'm like, yeah, I'm a guitar player now. But I couldn't play a note. So I got actually pretty early on. I got into organizing shows instead of playing the shows.
Yeah. And was that because obviously you love the music and you want to get involved, and that was your outlet for it?
Yeah, indeed. The first show I put on must have been, I think, when I was 18 years old or something. And that was a metal show, of course, at the local youth center. And I've done a couple of those. And then I got my GOT period. And I put on GOT shows. I got heavily involved in electronic music, and we started putting on shows in squats, illegal raves and stuff like that. I have always been on the non-performing side of music. So,
and what is it about like the promoting and the booking of shows that you really enjoy doing? Because I like put on a few gigs. And like I said this a while ago, like the only thing worse than putting on a gig is not having good gigs to go to. Because I kind of just grit my teeth through the entire experience of it. But what's your highlights for putting on gigs?
Well, it's like you said, there wasn't any good gigs. So I just started booking the bands that I wanted to see. And I wish I could say I was very successful at putting on gigs where there was a huge turnout, but that's not true. I've put on some amazing artists on stage, but I guess I live in the wrong part of the country. If it was to say like maybe Antwerp, Ghent, Brussels, turnout would have been much better. But it never was really a problem for me. I never really cared about if the turnout was bad, as long as we could pay the performers the wages we agreed on. We've of course lost money on this, put a lot of money into it, but I never felt sorry for myself. Like, shit, no one's coming out to see the show. I always told them, dude, you've missed a fantastic show. And I remember when I put on Sean and Zander, I told all the local punk kids, it's the guy from the Circle Jerks. He's going to be playing a show. And they were like, yeah, well, but he's playing in an acoustic show. Come on.
Yeah.
So, I think if there's one thing I could have changed on putting up all those shows, it would have been, no, I couldn't change it because I live in this city, of course. But a lot of things would have been different if I lived in another city, I think. Because, you get a lot more people in. And living in a small city where no one really cares about.
Yeah, that's what I'm finding, because I'm obviously up in the northwest of England, and obviously London has like quite a good route scene, and it has like a lot of people coming out to shows. I'm trying to put gigs on here to just try and like build a scene or build something here, and it's the same boat as you, but it is like taking a huge risk, because if people don't want to come, it's trying to get in front of them to do it. With those shows you put on, was that like late 90s, early 2000s, around that time?
Oh, no. My early shows, that was late 90s. But when I started doing like the roots music thing, that was after, I think we already did some shows before. I have to think. Yeah, one of the first shows that we booked as old style music nights, that was Jake Orvis and the Broken Band. So that was 2012.
Oh, cool. And with, obviously, I want to talk about old style music nights. Was that your first like flag on the hill of, roots music and promoting
absolutely.
that type of stuff?
Yeah. So I booked the Jake Orvis show, and it had to have a name. Like, instead of just being Jake Orvis and a Broken Band playing, it was like Old Style Music Nights. It was called Old Style Music Night. And I probably stole that from the Dirt Daubers, from JD from the Shack Shakers, and I think they have an album called Old Time Music or something. And that's how I came up with Old Style Music Night. And we just kept it. We put on Old Style Music Night 2. And then my wife, Ini, and me, we decided, hey, maybe we should start a website. Because I like writing. She was a photographer back in the day. Still is, but semi-retired. So where I can do like album reviews, write about shows, and she can put her photography on there for the shows that we went to.
Yeah.
So that's actually how it started. And just like it was another way to keep busy and to be involved in a scene that I really liked.
Yeah. Was there anything from like putting on shows like your first ones to Old Style Music that you kind of kept the same like way you promoted stuff and you reached people? Because obviously with the change of the internet, that was, revolutionary in how you can like promote gigs and stuff. And this was before Facebook fucked everyone with the algorithm. So I assume there was a better reach when you were starting to try and get people to these maybe online.
I remember back in the days that I used to send out posters all over the country to bars that I knew existed, like where they play metal music. Just put a Xerox poster in an envelope and send it out. And of course, with the internet coming on, you would think you would reach more people, and of course you reach more people, but that doesn't mean they come out. We were lucky enough to have a bar a couple towns further, Bacchus, which was a legendary bar in the scene. Sadly, the bar doesn't exist anymore, but the owner, Juice Man, he used to put up shows way before we were doing it. So we could promote there, and most of the people that came to Bacchus would also attend the shows we put on. So that was that was lucky for us. And we did have some people coming from other countries to the shows we put on. But I think the best show we ever had was like 200 people, which was fine, actually. It was because it was always at the local youth center. Well, I think we did 2 other shows at a different venue, but 200 people in the local youth center was more than enough. So, and that's how you keep it manageable. You don't need any bouncers or stuff like that. And,
yeah, man. Because I remember the first time I found you was through Old Style Music Nights, because I think you'd reviewed Sean James's stuff, and this was when I was on tour with him in 2017. Did you have many acts like Sean come through, like US touring bands?
The list is pretty long. So we had Jake Orvis coming over. We had the Urban Pioneers, we had Sean and Zander. We had Filthy Still, SS Web a couple of times. Of course, the Hangdog Hearts, Austin, who became a dear friend. He stayed here a couple nights. Carrie Nation and
the Speakeasy.
Also had those guys crashing our house a couple times. Actually, all those, and without sounding disrespectful, all those just not the biggest bands. You know what I mean? When they were on tour, and most of the time, a lot of Kurt's bands from Rootstown.
Yeah.
When Kurt came up with, "Hey Tom, I got this band coming over. All right, I'll book him." Because I know he brings quality.
Yeah.
And with us going to the States every year for Muddy Roots in Tennessee, first day we come back in Belgium, Kurt would reach out to me. It's like, all right, what are the bands I need to contact to get them to Europe next year? So we were scouting for him. And,
Nice. How often did you go over to Muddy Roots for Tennessee as well?
I think we attended 7 or 8 times.
Was there much of a difference between like the US one and the European one in terms of like crowds and styles and people? Or was
yeah. Muddy Roots, Tennessee is something like you have never seen. The first time you come there, it was wow. The festival is being held at a biker ranch. The name, I can't remember the name. And it's like a valley. You drive up there and go to a gate, and there's like this huge terrain, and people are camping everywhere. There's a tent set up. There's a wooden stage. It looks incredible, and also the atmosphere, fantastic. And yeah, that was, of course, an inspiration to put on our own festivals. But also music-wise, I think Muddy Roots America is much more diverse than Muddy Roots Europe, while Muddy Roots Europe is really focusing on the roots part. Muddy Roots America has always had that. There was punk bands playing there, and maybe a metal band here and there.
Yeah, they had. Was it Ghostface Killer played there, or someone from Wu-Tang was there the other year? I can't remember.
Yeah. That was the years I didn't attend anymore, but yeah. And I always liked the mix between the roots, the punk, and the metal thing. Excuse me, but to even throw in more genres, I don't know. Maybe it feels like it's just another music festival. So I like festivals that
like have a theme.
But the theme can be like really wide, but maybe hip hop is a bit too much. I like some hip hop, but maybe that's a bit too wide for me. I don't know.
Yeah, cool, man. And obviously, this leads us to Picking Bones from Old Style Music Nights. What was it? Obviously, you're influenced by Muddy Roots and the root scene. What was it that really, solidified the fact that the idea that you wanted to put a festival on?
Well, we started with our first festival. That was the Pirate Farm Fest, which and that came together. We were a group of friends hanging out together, going to shows together, and we were like, "Oh, cool! Muddy Roots is fun. Maybe we can do our own festival." And we had this crazy idea that it would be easy to. We've organized shows in the past. How hard can a festival be? Which actually the plan was to just do a 1-day festival, and we booked the goddamn gallows, and which was of course a fantastic experience. We got the gallows, our first festival, and then people were asking like, "Hey, but can we come a day earlier so we can set up camp?" We're like, "All right, maybe we should do a pre-party." So it was Friday and Saturday, and from day one, and it was just a chaotic mess. We rented a field which was actually flooded weeks before the festival, so it couldn't be used. So we used a smaller field which was actually on a hill, so it was like this. We had to build a tent. When you were standing in the tent or when you're standing on stage, we leveled the stage. And everyone was standing like this. So you were standing straight on stage, but the rest of the people were. It was a special kind of experience for the artist on stage. But it was like this really no nonsense. Do whatever the fuck you want, but keep it civil. We do not want to call the cops for anything, but it was just chaos. And we did that for like 3 years, I think 3 or 4 editions. And every year we did it, we got a bit better at organizing it, and the festival got a bit better. And then egos got in the way. When you work with people, and we clashed, and people left. And I have to say, my ego got in the way, other people's ego. I'm not ashamed to say it, that I was at fault as well. But we didn't want to give up on it. And so we were like, let's rebrand the whole thing because we have way too much fun doing this. Also, even if it's very hard work putting up a festival. And then we rebranded it, and that's how Picking Bones came to life, which this year would have been the third or fourth edition, but sadly we only had one because of well, we all know.
Yeah. What was like the biggest learning curve? So when you like, we're gonna decide to put a festival on with Pirate Farm Fest, what was the biggest learning curve or unexpected thing that kind of came from, we're gonna put on this festival to the reality of, oh shit, we're putting a festival on?
The money. We really didn't think this through. We set a budget for bands, and then there was like, oh shit, we need a tent, we need a sound system, we of course need a terrain, and we have to fence off the terrain because otherwise everyone can get in without paying. And we're not assholes, but we would like you to pay. So the money thing, that was really something that we never thought about. And but you learn this very, very quickly, how expensive it is to put on even a very small festival. And of course, we're living in Belgium. The law is not always on your side. There is like a million rules that you have to, and you have to get permits for everything and stuff like that. So that was really the biggest thing to deal with. Booking bands is easy. Because bands want to play.
Yeah.
And you come to an arrangement of payment. Some say, dude, I'll play for a sandwich. And others say, well, this is going to cost you so much. And we will come to an agreement. Bands is never an issue. It's always everything that's around the festival. And finding people to put on the festival. Like it takes about a week to build and a week to take down. So you need a bunch of volunteers. And I think back in the 90s, everyone was volunteering for something who was involved into music. And these days it's pretty hard to find people to volunteer their time. And so, of course, I am extremely grateful to the people that do volunteer at our festival. We got a really cool crew. We don't see each other much, but those 2 weeks, that's like, let's build this thing.
And do most people live locally to you in or do they travel from around?
Well, we moved the festival to a town. Yeah, you've played, of course, there, to Linder. And Linder is like 30 to 40 minutes away from where I live. So most people have to drive like let's say between half an hour and an hour to get to the terrain.
Yeah.
So it's not like they're just local folks. One of my co-organizers, he lives in Linder, and he got us the terrain because he started talking with the mayor of the town. They were like, "Yeah, well, there's a little field, you can do it." And, all right. So normally we would never have been in that town. But we're very grateful because the mayor is on our side, and that's also a thing you need. Local government. But it's really by accident that we are doing the festival where we are doing the festival. So we tried to put it on here in Diest, and we came to an agreement. And then some bike race was happening the day after or the day before. And the police said, well, you can't have a festival on the same day. There's a bike race because blah, 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 blah. Sports go first. And so we had to find another terrain, and that's how we get to Linder.
Yeah. Cool. And with obviously Pick and Bones, was it 2019 was the first one? I've got the poster behind me on the door. Because I remember, I think I pestered Innie because I saw one poster left, like hanging up somewhere. I think it flipped around. Someone was using it for a sign for toilets, and I was like, "Can I have this before I leave?"
I still have I think 500 of the second edition, which were never used.
I know, it's such a shame. Like all the marketing that must have gone into like tons of things, like that was probably at least half of the Amazon rainforest in misused and wasted gig posters for the last couple of years.
Absolutely. I picked up the flyers the day Belgium went in lockdown. Yeah, I was like, I got a call from the print shop, like, all right, Tom, your flyers are ready. So I rushed over, 2 big boxes. I was like, yeah, I got the flyers, took a picture, sent it to the rest of the crew via Messenger. And an hour later, there was a news report like, Belgium's going into lockdown. So like, what? So I think every promoter is stuck with a bunch of flyers and
yeah.
Oh well.
Yeah. Was there a difference obviously between Pyrofarm Fest and Pick and Bones? Was there a genre change or anything, or was it kind of the same type of stuff that you wanted to bring across?
There was a bit of a genre change, which was a choice that we made. We wanted to go a bit wider, not just stick to the roots music, but also put on a punk band, more metal, but still something that everyone. We can please everyone.
Yeah,
but I will never put a black metal band on a Picking Bones festival because that would not fit in the idea that we have with Picking Bones. We call it an alternative roots music festival, and now even more, I call it just an alternative music festival. But there is a line somewhere that.
Yeah, I think it's from what I saw for Pick and Bones, because you had 20 Watt Tombstone playing, who are really fucking heavy, but he's still playing with a slide, and Tom's still got that rootsy vibe to him where he is bringing it in from Blind Willie Johnson and that type of music to play it. While I think obviously if you have a black metal band, they can be inspired by it, but there's nothing roots based about it.
No, but we also did have Toxic Shock, which are basically a hardcore trash band. Yeah. And they have nothing to do with roots music. But in my feeling, it's I know a lot of people in this scene like them, and they're a Belgian band, and they're perfect to headline Friday night at the outside stage, and it worked. So apart from the fight that broke out during their set, because someone couldn't handle their beer.
Yeah. And after. Sorry.
No, go ahead.
Yeah. After the first Pick and Bones, obviously, what was it that was made it a success to you that made you want to carry on with it and, keep it going?
It was financially not a success. It was, we didn't lose any money. It was just a break even, and maybe, there wasn't any profit. Let's say that.
Yeah.
But we thought we worked so hard for this new concept, this new place where it's taking place, where it's happening, and we said this is the first time. We cannot expect this to be an instant success, even if we come from the Pirate Farm Fest. This is a whole new thing, and we decided to give it another go. And we made it very clear to ourselves with our small crew, it has to, the next edition, it has to bring this much money. Otherwise, we're going to just quit.
Yeah.
Because you need to have some money in the bank to put on a festival. And you don't have to be shit. There's 1, 2, 3. We still need 20 people to get in today so we can break even.
Yeah.
You don't want to do that during the festival. So, and we made this decision: if there's not an amount of this many euros after each edition, just call it quits.
Yeah.
That's very simple. And it's also very safe to say, you're not going to get in legal problems where you can pay your suppliers and stuff like that. So that's kind of important.
And what was the reception? Obviously, the first one, from my perspective, it was amazing. My only critique was, I think the Manis brothers were stood outside my camper van the entire night fucking talking. Because I had to leave at 5 a.m, so I went to bed after Moonshine Wagon, I think, set. And literally, I was good night, guys. And they were stood outside talking, and I woke up at 5 a.m. They were in the exact same place, still talking. But apart from that, it was an amazing experience.
I am very proud of what we did that year. It looked like a professional festival, and that was something that the Pirate Farm Fest never looked like. Pirate Farm Fest was one big chaos, an enjoyable chaos. But Picking Bones actually looked like someone put some thought in it, and tried their very, very best to make it work. And it really looked like that. And that's something we take a lot of joy and pride in.
Yeah.
And that's...
Yeah.
So it's...
Yeah.
And it's something that we wanted to do, like put on a really professional looking fest and feeling also for the artist that everyone's taking care of, the people coming, paying, of course, the ticket, but still have this feeling of freedom and do whatever the fuck you want, as long as you obey the couple rules that we have. There is no security at the door. There's no one checking your bag. And I think that's very important to have and just music. There's a stage, there's one stage, there's the other stage. You can get beer there and you can get food there. That's it. Yeah. You don't need a Ferris wheel on a music festival. No. And so I think that's very important to keep it pure.
No, definitely. I think it worked really well. And what was this like feedback after that with, obviously the second one was meant to go ahead and you have that kind of figure in your mind about what you want to achieve. Was the response when you went live with the second one for tickets? What did it go better than you expected?
The ticket sale took off really, really quick and really well. And then, of course, it all came to a stop. And people are still waiting to buy tickets now. We see this. Restrictions are gonna go away normally. But people are still waiting a bit to buy tickets. And I understand, because I would be the same.
Have people held on to the tickets they got?
Yeah. We told everyone, like, if you want a refund, no problem. We'll give you a refund. And I think, let's say that we had that 70 people bought a ticket in the first couple of weeks. Maybe 7 people asked for a refund.
Cool.
So that's cool. And, we only sell 500 tickets. That's a limit we put on there ourselves. And I think we only sold 100 tickets by now, which doesn't seem much. But we're fine with that. We'll see what happens.
I think in the climate that you're in, I think that's really good going, because everyone's so cautious about buying shit now. I think that's really good. I mean, I don't think until like the month of and when restrictions have been gone and they've been gone a while, that's when we're going to see stuff starting to kick back in.
Also, we've been waiting to have the posters printed and stuff like that, and flyers. And we're doing promo on Facebook and Instagram, of course. But I'm not going to put any money in to maybe just throw away again 500 posters. And I think once those are in, and you start putting them up, and gigs are happening again, because there's no way you can advertise this for the moment, because there's no gigs happening. And until, I think bars still have to close at 11 in Belgium for now. By next week, they can go open as long as they want again. But people are not looking forward, we are all waiting to go to a show, but no one is like, oh, there's a poster, let's buy a ticket now. Because so now restrictions are coming down, so I think ticket sales will go up by now. So
no, cool, man. And obviously the second festival, how obviously you've talked about booking the bands is the easiest part. Who or what was your approach to booking the bands this year? Because obviously you've got Possessed by Paul James playing, my buddy Uncle Wormwood's there. So what was kind of your approach? Did you reach out to a lot of people? Did some get in touch with you to play?
I'm gonna take the poster here with me. There are of course bands that I have to reach out to myself, like the picture books. That was not easy to get them. They haven't.
I forgot you had the picture books. I saw them opening for Clutch the other year. They're fucking brilliant, though.
Yeah, absolutely. I remember hearing them the first time. Was like, I didn't like the name. The name, the picture books. Like, that's kind of a weird name. But then I saw them. I was like, wow, it's so fucking intense.
Yeah.
And so I was trying to get them for the first festival, but that didn't work out. And so I was really glad to get them for the second one, which didn't happen then, of course. And then the third one didn't happen. And so now we have them again. But it was really hard getting them. They're with an English booking firm, and communication was a bit shaky. But once I got the confirmation from the band itself, it's like, oh yes, we got them, and that's really hard. They were really hard to get, but we got them. Very glad to have them. Urban Voodoo Machine is they work with Sedate bookings from Holland.
Yeah.
And what I do every year when I start booking again, I go to Sedate, their website, and see who's touring, because they have a really good roster of bands.
Yeah.
And mostly I pick my headliners from the Sedate. I love working with the guys from Sedate. And it's always easy with them. So
yeah, I'm using them for it. I used, was it Sierra Farrell and John R. Miller? I was booking through Sedate booking, and then they obviously have like the UK side of things. And I kind of do the same thing as a musician. I see who they're booking for UK tours to see who I can kind of get a support slot for, if I can wear my way in there.
Yeah, man. And then other bands, they reach out to you. Hey, Tom, we would love to come and play if it's possible. And I'm always very honest to bands about that. Like, if I like your music and I have a spot, you're welcome to come and play if we can come to an arrangement. There are, of course, bands that ask a ridiculous amount of money. And I'm like, even bands that no one heard of, maybe have released an album, but that's a whole other discussion.
Yeah.
But most bands, I reach out to myself. It's like I see who's going to be touring, or just send them an email. Like, hey guys, I'm Tom. I'm doing this festival. What's it going to cost me to have you guys play?
Yeah.
And I think that approach, I like it. It's honest. It's direct, and actually, it never fails. If a band says this, we want to have like €1,000, and I'm like, well, sorry, can't get you that. I can give you this much, and they say, okay. If they're not okay, all right, no hard feelings. On to the next one.
Yeah.
So, and of course, this year I have been booking more Belgian bands or European bands because of the pandemic. They had less opportunities to play. So we did a bit more of a focus on European bands than we did normally. And that's quality enough. So
cool, man. Do you want to do a quick run through of the lineup? And is there anyone you've not seen play before that's going to be new to you at Pick and Bones as well?
Let me see. Who have I never seen live on stage? Kettle from Canada, never seen them. Pinebox Serenade, also never seen them. And Uncle Wormwood. I have never seen Uncle Wormwood play.
Oh, he's fun, man. You're really going to fucking enjoy him.
I have actually seen him with another band. I think it was called Suwora or something. It was really dark, weird. As Uncle Wormwood, never. And he's opening up the festival on Friday evening.
Yeah,
which I regret a bit, but that's one thing I hate about putting up a festival is time slots.
Yeah,
who is gonna open up and who's gonna play when, and it always feels so disrespectful, and you don't want to do it. You just do not want to be the guy who says like, and I had to do it with you as well. Hey, Mike, you're opening.
Yeah,
and it feels terrible.
Yeah, as a musician, I quite like the idea of opening, because the bar is not. I get to set the bar instead of having to follow someone.
Of course,
so for me, the pressure's off. If you're opening a festival, you kind of get to set the tone for it. So I personally don't mind it. If you ever want to book me again, I'll open any day.
If you bring the violin, the fiddle player with you,
yeah. But I get what you mean with that kind of scheduling. Do you have, now obviously you have your headliners, and then do you have the middle bands It's just kind of you work out who'd work well.
Yeah. I'm trying to do that. Like, all right, so we have the stage in the tent, and then we have the outside stage, and it's like it has to fit into each other.
Yeah.
I don't want to have like a slow, dark band playing the main stage. I don't like to call it the main stage, but basically that's easy. And then have the same kind of vibe on the other stage. So it has to be, let's say, sad here, happy here.
Yeah.
So that is very important for me, that it flows, that people get to go from one band to the other and say like, all right, this was a totally different show, but both of those bands were like quality, but totally different.
Yeah.
And that I think is very important when you put on the lineup and the time schedule. And of course, I wish I could put one of the lesser known bands on the top bill, but of course, yeah, you know how it goes.
It doesn't work like that, unfortunately.
No.
Like the only time I've seen that kind of happen was when Trivium played Download in 2005. It was like just as Ascendancy came out, and for some reason they were meant to play like the second stage, and then there was a main stage dropout, so they got bumped to the main stage, and that was kind of like that was where their career kind of took off. And that's an amazing thing to do. But when you're planning and running a festival and you're working with all these artists, to put someone high up who's not got a track record or fan base is just it would be amazing, but it's not. It's still a business at the end of the day, and you still need to have that attraction and draw for people.
Yeah, I was planning for a bit for the wedding funeral to have like a late show after the headliner at the small stage, but I was like, I don't think people are gonna be interested in after the picture books or after the Urban Voodoo Machine to go back to the smaller stage and listen, because the wedding funeral is listening music and it's really dark and eerie, and the vibe would be perfect because it's middle of the night, and but probably everyone's gonna be drunk.
Yeah, everyone's drunk and tired and just wanting to. Because I remember I went to Hellfest and King Diamond was playing after either Sabbath or Rammstein, who'd like headlined, and King Diamond was playing after. And I love King Diamond. I hadn't seen him. I was like, I can't fucking sit through this. I'm fucking dead on my feet.
Yeah. So I threw away that plan, but I'll make sure when they play that it's gonna be that there's gonna be an okay setting, even if the sun is out, and I'll just do something with the stage that to make it feel a bit darker.
Yeah, you have to like set up like huge like sunblocks or something to just
something like
darken it. Yeah. Was there any moment during the first Pick and Bones where you were like, oh fuck, we've like done it, and you like got that sense of like pride and realization that you've managed to put this together and bring all these people and musicians together?
It usually happens right before the Saturday night headliner plays, because I know everything went well. Come on, get on here. Everything went well. Everyone's happy. Maybe the turnout wasn't that great, but there weren't any incidents. Everyone had fun. All the musicians had fun. All the people that paid for a ticket had fun. And then there's this weird sense, this feeling comes over you like, I can finally enjoy. Because it's a really, really stressful weekend. For every band that arrives, I welcome them personally and show them around. I need an assistant. So actually, I'm on my feet the whole day. Actually, the whole weekend, from early morning. I go to bed as the last one. Well, not the people staying up at the campsite, but
not the Manus brothers, but
not the Manus brothers. So but the feeling that you get when you know, like, all right, it's almost at an end.
Yeah,
I can finally go stand on a dance floor and
appreciate
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I also try to see every band playing, even if it's only for like 15 minutes. I think it's very important that I don't even know if the bands care about it, and I'm pretty sure most of them don't notice me in the crowd. But I think it's very important that I can tell them like, hey, afterwards, great gig.
Yeah.
They're like, yeah, right, you didn't see us, but I can say like, I did because this and that happened. Yeah. And, so I think that's really important.
Yeah. Cool, man. And obviously all going well with Pick and Bones 2, which is meant to be 4. Pick and Bones 3, which should be 5. Are you working on that at the moment, or is it just all systems go for 2 at the moment?
All systems go for 2.
Yeah.
I have, of course, a wish list of bands that I would love to book, but I think we're just going to go ahead and try and do this one first. And
yeah. Cool, man. I assume Grave Dance is on that list.
Of course. By the way, thank you for pointing him out.
Yeah, no worries, man. It was great to see him playing in Chester and then realizing he was in Scotland, like he wasn't going back to the States, like he's living in Scotland now. So it's cool to know that, you know, he's close.
I'm gonna see him, by the way, he's opening up for Sean James on the Euro tour. So we booked tickets for one of the Germany gigs. Yeah. So I'm actually more, of course, I'm very excited to see Sean again, but I'm really, really, really excited to see Grave Dancer doing this thing.
Yeah, cool, man. Do you have any other plans for this year? Obviously, you've got Pick and Bones. Are you looking to put in any other gigs, or is it just the festivals the focus?
We decided to just do the festival. During the summer, we helped out a local summer bar, and we put on some acoustic gigs there. And it was fun, but it was not really... we didn't really put our name behind it. We just helped someone out. Yeah. But apart, we just... let's take the festival and let's see what happens with the festival. Yeah. I tried to start writing again for All Star Music Nights, but I just can't find the time. No. We started a little other business on the side, and so most of my free time goes to that. But as long as we can, the festival, that's the main focus.
Yeah, no, definitely.
And actually, we are ready to go. I mean, we just need an okay from the government.
Cool, man. And outside of the gigs you're putting on, like Pick and Bones, have you got tickets to see anyone that you're really stoked about? Because I know Amigo just cancelled his European tour.
He cancelled the whole tour. We, of course, had tickets.
Yeah.
If I had printed all the tickets that I bought for shows during the pandemic, I would have like a stack of canceled dreams.
Do you have any that you're still holding on to that are meant to be happening this year that you're gonna?
Also cancelled, but Vet Buenos Ende, legendary Norwegian, let's say, avant-garde metal band. That was one thing that I was really looking forward to, but it got cancelled again. Yeah. But it's rescheduled to 2023. Yeah. So I had tickets to see Ulver, and it's one of my favorite bands in the world. Also cancelled. But roots music-wise, there's actually nothing except for Amigo the Devil. Because there was nothing happening.
That's the thing. There was nothing really booked in it. Everything's just so tentative, and everything got knocked back to 2023.
I am looking forward to the Roots and Roses Festival. They put on a really exciting lineup for this year. They are going for 2 days now.
Oh, cool.
Which I'm not going to attend. I'm just going to pick one day.
Yeah.
Because I think it's going to be Sunday and Monday, because it's always on the 1st of May. So I'm just going to pick the day that I want to see the most bands. And I hate camping, so I build a house for a reason. I don't want to sleep in a tent.
Yeah, no, makes total sense, man. But we've come up to the hour mark, and I want to thank you so much for having us. I don't want to take up too much of your night, but do you have anything else that I haven't asked you, or anything about Pick and Bones, or anything you need to shout about before I leave you?
Well, we didn't really talk about the bands, but I'm pretty sure you'll
go through the bands if you
really
want.
Really fast. So, Fat Bass Mountain Boys, new Belgian band, actually from the Muddy Roots area. We really fun, traditional bluegrass and roots band. White Trash Dating Service is I call them a cover band, but I do not book cover bands. Now, it's the band from one of my co-organizers, and they just mix popular songs into trashy country music.
Nice.
And they're gonna play on Saturday morning during breakfast.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, so it's a new idea we're trying. Of course, Uncle Wormwood, everyone knows him. Braka is a new Belgian band. You know the Freeborn Brothers, of course.
Yeah.
Do you know their early work?
Not so much.
So they were just a two-man thing with a banjo and we call it trekzak. How do you call it in English?
An accordion.
Yeah, thank you. Yep. So these are two brothers, Belgian brothers, and I've seen them once, and they just blew me away. Amazing folk music, and I really think they're gonna hit it really hard at the festival. People are gonna love them. We have Evil Daltons back, a German psychobilly band. They played the open mic stage for a Pirate Farm Fest once.
Oh, cool.
And they asked me, "Hey, Tom, we would love to come back because your festivals is something completely different than we normally play because they only play psychobilly shows."
Yeah.
And so, yeah, man, come over again. It was fun. Wallaroos, also Belgian band. I don't want to sound disrespectful to them, but let's just call them the Belgian Kings of Nothing. Which actually is a big compliment because Kings of Nothing are have like a god-like thing, so that's a huge compliment. The Wedding Funeral, my very good friends Darren and Ethel from Jersey City, Gothic Americana thing with a musical saw. People are gonna love or hate it. There's no in between, so I hope they love it.
Yeah.
Pine Box Serenade, of course, which is a band that's not pioneers of the music, but they were very early in the Gothic Americanas thing. And then I think they stopped all of a sudden and they started again.
Oh, awesome.
Yep. Loud Love, Belgian hardcore band, which normally we wouldn't book, but I was like, I like this. It's late 90s emotional hardcore stuff, and actually a local band from here. So they asked if they could play. I was like, yeah, man.
Cool.
Prince Beastly, they're gonna be a party. It's this garage punk thing, but with a really cool organ, and it's gonna be nuts. The shows I've seen from those guys are all dressed up in crazy costumes, and the crowd goes into a moronic state, throwing trash cans around and stuff like that. It's gonna be fantastic. Jesco from Holland, great band. Love their latest album, and I felt like I needed to put them on stage because they deserve much more recognition than they get. So, that's why. Cattle, Canada, we have already talked about them.
Yep.
Great garage rock band. And then we have Your Highness. Your Highness is, let's say, Belgium's #1 sludge band.
Cool.
It's going to be heavy as fuck. If someone's there to hear some traditional folk music and he's going to walk in to the Your Highness show, people are gonna be a bit shocked. Of course, Dead Bronco, everyone knows Dead Bronco from their early country music to their black country, as they call it, or black folk, as they call it now. Really excited to have them. I love what Matt and his guys are doing. So then we have the Pine Box Boys again. They played the first year. They asked to come back, and I was like, of course you can come back.
So good.
Yeah, so good. Possessed by Paul James is an honor to have.
Phenomenal.
Yeah, I was really happy when I got the offer from Sedate Bookings to book him, and I was like, yeah. I don't even care. What do you want for him? Just, we want him. Urban Voodoo Machine, man. I love the Urban Voodoo Machine.
I've never seen them live, and obviously they're a UK band.
Yeah.
And I'm nagging. There's a venue near me that's got them on, and I'm nagging them to get the support slot for them.
Yeah, man, I've seen them, I think 4 or 5 times, and it's a party every day. So really excited. And it's 12 people.
Yeah.
So I have to put them in a hotel. So hotel owners, well, the local hotel is going to be flooded with these guys. Yeah. And then, of course, the picture books who are going to headline Friday night. Really excited about them as well. We are used to having American headliners, and I'm actually glad to have like this. Yeah, we have the UK and Germany headlining this year, and I think it proves. And of course, we love our American bands and friends, but I think it proves that Europe has a quality scene to put up a festival. So
yeah, definitely. I think with American bands, or if you're touring anywhere, it's like there's an exotic element to people to be like, oh my god, they've traveled like this far, they must be good. while if a Belgian band is playing Belgium, or as a UK artist I'm playing somewhere in the UK, it's like, yeah, you're 30 minutes away from your house, you're not special. But it's like, but I am still quite good, and they're like, yeah, but you aren't from Texas, so go fuck yourself.
I know exactly what you mean. A metal band, a black metal band from Norway must be good because they're from Norway.
Yeah.
That's a bit of the same idea that people have when talking about this music, while of course it's not true.
Yeah,
it doesn't matter where you're from, if your heart is in it.
Yeah,
and you can play your instrument. I think that's the most important thing. So just as it is with organizing a festival.
Yeah, man. Exactly.
If you're in it for the money,
yeah, you're not going to do well.
Nope.
Yeah. And there we have it, guys. That's episode 45 of Into the Van, Into the Bag. And if you're doing it for the money, you are in the wrong fucking thing. Thank you so much to Tom for talking about his festival, his start, his music, his taste. It was an absolutely great chat. It was great to see him again. I hadn't seen him since 2019. We talk on Facebook and stuff, but it was nice to just sit down and chat with him for a while. Yeah, keep enjoying the things you love. Keep supporting the things you love. Keep listening to Into the Van. Give me a review on Spotify or iTunes or wherever you are. It really does help. And yeah, guys, till next time. Peace.